Welcome to Beyond Four Walls. Each week, we sit down with leaders, creators, and change makers to uncover the moments, pivots, and lessons that shape their success in business and life. Welcome back to Beyond Four Walls. I'm Natasha, and today I'm so excited to be sitting down with Ally Mamalieder. Ally's the president and second-generation founder of Organic Traditions, a leading superfood brand that brings nutrient-dense plant-based products into everyday life. Since taking the reins in 2017, she's expanded the company to over 100 products, introduced innovative formulations, and carried forward her family's legacy with a fresh and modern vision. On a more personal note, Ally and I did 29029 this summer, the trail, 3 mountain marathons in 3 days in Park City, Utah, and just became fast friends, and so grateful for that experience that we shared together. So just wanted to jump in on your journey to leadership. You transitioned from a career in corporate communications in luxury hospitality to leading your family's brand in 2017. So what motivated you to make that shift? And tell us a bit about that.
Okay, well, first of all, thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
So good to see you
Yeah.
again. I always knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, my grandfather, my dad, and I've kind of always seen family members that were able to kind of make something from nothing. So I was aware of that and I knew that I had that in me, but I also saw how hard they worked and how chaotic it could be and dysfunctional almost in a way. And I think I veered really the other way to avoid that for a little while, even though in the back of my mind, like I knew I had that in me too. And so I wanted to be a lawyer. I followed a very streamlined path in university and long story short, ended up in corporate communications in hospitality, and I absolutely loved it because I love to travel, and we've talked about this.
Yeah.
I love great hotels.
Yes.
It's actually ruined me for life,
Yeah.
that experience. But I got really lucky that Fairmont specifically has an incredible corporate culture. They're a Canadian brand. It's a heritage brand. It's been around for over 100 years, and they put so much thought and intention into their leadership. And so it really showed me how a larger scale organization that has 50,000 employees globally can operate and how leadership really starts at the top. So I had an amazing experience there and I would have never wanted to leave. But like I said, I knew in the back of my mind that I was an entrepreneur and I was watching my dad build Organic Traditions for years. I was involved in the background. I would still go to trade shows with him. I saw the products that were in market. I would visit the health food stores. That was what we did on the weekends or on family trips. I was always looking around in retail and just observing. And so in 2017, what caused the shift was just me looking at the market and seeing how much wellness had moved forward. In 2017, all these places were popping up where you could grab a smoothie finally, like Nut Bar, or there was so much more interest generally, not just in these niche communities of people wanting to eat superfoods and live healthier. And I saw this great potential for our brand that it wasn't being tapped into. And so at that point, I was like, I think I'm ready now. I'm ready to bring my own value to this. I think if you've only ever worked in a family business, you kind of fall into those ways or it's all that you know. And
Yeah, it's so hard to really step forward to make change.
yeah, you just go with how they're already doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like I could make a difference at that point. And I was like, okay, I want to jump in. I want to bring this to the next level and kind of never looked back since then. So I'm glad I waited till I was ready, but it was a huge shift for sure.
I think that's so courageous and amazing as well, because you obviously
Thank
your
you.
dad, you watched growing up, but it takes courage to say I think we need a refresh, and there's this whole next generation of wellness consumers. And so you've been integral in launching over 20 superfood formulations and growing it to hundreds of products. So how are you making these changes? What innovations are you seeing? What do you feel is needed for this new demographic of buyers in this space?
Well, I started to notice that we had a lot of products that were novel at the time when they came out. So like hemp hearts or chia seeds or
Mhm.
goji berries, things that are still obviously amazing, and a lot of different powders and adaptogens like maca and
Mhm.
lion's mane. But I found that there were the diehard people like my dad that
Yeah.
are like, I want 500 things in my pantry. Like, I'm going to make all the potions and the
Mhm.
elixirs. But there were so many more people who wanted to be healthy and they wanted a simple solution and an easier way to
Simplicity,
incorporate.
yeah.
Yeah. So I started to say, like, let's shift from like single ingredients in a bag to things that are more like an everyday blend. So if it's a smoothie mix that contains like fiber and has some adaptogens and has cacao powder in it, and like that's the one thing that they start with, then that's great. That's a
Mhm.
huge step forward for them. So really just tried to tap into simplicity for people and like eliminating the need to buy so many products and really just focusing on high quality of like a few things that are easier.
Yeah, because I find for me, especially, like, I'll fall off the bandwagon if there's too much in the mix in my morning routine, right? Like, if you
Yeah.
can just, like, really keep it simple, then
Then
and
it's
what's
then
working,
you can
then
stick to it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I guess going towards, like, the legacy, and I know you're doing, like, a rebranding. I
Yes.
think you can talk about that.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. Well,
like,
I'm hoping you can talk about
I don't
it.
think you're gonna post this in the next 2 weeks, so it'll actually be out as
Okay,
long as this is post September
amazing.
18th.
Shout out to Design a Brand,
Yes.
who
Big shout
also
out.
did our branding for Homekin,
Yeah,
and
we
love working with her.
love you, Sarah.
Yeah. So, I guess how have you managed expectations with, like, the whole legacy aspect and, like, the original vision for organic traditions? Like, how are you managing that shift?
That's a great question because
Because you work with your husband too.
I work with my husband.
Mhm.
He's our director of ops.
The sweetest.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
cheered us on.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about that. Um, I'd say this has been one of the biggest tension points up to date in my whole like leadership experience is like thinking about the legacy with how it comes into the rebrand. So it's funny. We actually haven't showed my dad the full rebrand yet. I'm going to show him on his birthday a
Do you have,
week.
like, a nervousness
Yeah, I'm
leading up to
nervous.
that? Yeah.
I'm nervous. I know he trusts me and he sees like what we've done and how we've been able to evolve the business, but definitely like the packaging design was his baby. And now with the rebrand, it's my first time feeling like it's actually a reflection of how I see the brand.
Mhm.
And so there's been a tension throughout the whole process of how much we keep integral to the core of what it looked like before and how much more can we bring it forward and then also layering in the filter of what do consumers want today,
Mhm.
what are the trends and what can be more evergreen and really continue to build a legacy. So that's been a really intense period for me. It still is, but we're getting close to the end of it, so I'm excited for him to see it. I think it's going to be great.
I'm sure he'll be supportive wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
just be a transition
There
and
there we're gonna film it, there might be some shock factor.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm so excited to see it. Excited
need to
for
show
you.
you.
We've talked about this and, we met at Trove, which is a wellness space and, prioritizing self-care and wellness as founders and mothers and all of it. So, how do you how does that incorporate into your life and what have you been doing to focus
Yeah,
on it?
my perfect day goes very differently from what it's looked like over the last 3 months. I will
Mhm.
say, like, I think there's the ideal that I love to stick to that helps me feel my best, and then the reality is when you're a mom and you're an entrepreneur, sometimes that doesn't last all year long, and that's just I'm just keeping it real, like,
I
this
love that you
summer.
keep it real because, like, your posts on vacation when you're like, "I'm trying to enjoy family, but I'm literally, like, inundated, and I'm in my hotel room working," and I think
Yeah,
it's nice. It's
yeah.
so nice that you're authentic about, like, the realities of leading
I
and
try because, like, it looks like I'm just in Greece for a month,
yeah.
but I was working every single day while I was
Mhm.
there. But when everything is going very well, my perfect kind of wellness routine to keep me at my best is this sounds counterintuitive, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, doing a workout in the morning so my head is clear and, like, I know I've checked that off the list, doing my, like, post-workout protein forward superfood forward smoothie, all of those things, taking care of myself, and then spending time with my kids for like 60 to 90 minutes before like we rush them to school or camp or whatever. And then just making sure that that's not the only time I have during the day. Like I need one other check-in with myself before we do like the nighttime rush. And I think everyone's very hyper fixated on their morning routine. I think like we've talked about
Yeah.
this, you are too.
Yeah.
But I could go into my office, sit at my desk or sit in meetings and not see the sun or not take a break, not stop for lunch for like 9 hours.
Mhm.
So I'm really focused on finding that second time other than the morning routine where I like force myself to reset and like not be looking at a screen.
Yeah.
Like I tell my team all the time to do that, but then I need to do that too. So, yeah, just prioritizing time and having those boundaries, I think, is what creates the biggest impact for me.
Love that. With the wellness space, like just obviously blowing up, so competitive, so many options out there. How are you really trying to maintain that originality and that differentiation with organic traditions?
I think we focus on 3 things. Like, we definitely look at trends. I think social media has made trends and like the cycle of trends really like it's kind of toxic, but
Yeah.
it's also kind of fun, but it's also like throws you off of what you should be focusing on. So I think we like to play with trends a little bit when it comes to recipes or content, but
Mhm.
when it comes to actual product development, we're more concerned with what's efficacious.
Mhm.
Like, we don't want to sprinkle something into one of our formulations just because it's a trending ingredient, unless it actually does what it says it's going to do. And we're giving you a clinical dosage of it. And
Mhm.
it's like in there for a reason. So I think
What would be a trend today that you would like?
like we were really close. Everyone wanted us to launch like blue spirulina, like the blue
Okay.
looking matcha,
Yeah.
butterfly pea protein, like all these like blue powders just to
Okay.
make a really pretty drink with it.
Okay.
But they're not the most nutrient dense option.
Okay.
Like everything else that we already had was the most nutrient dense option. It was just really beautiful for coloring. So I'm like, I don't think that I could put my name on this and get behind like selling this for
Just 'cause it's gonna look pretty. Yeah.
$25 at retail and trying to convince people it's full of antioxidants when
Mhm.
like our blueberry powder or acai powder or all these other things like camu has like
Mhm.
10x the antioxidants that this has. Like this is a really specific example, but I think just like staying true to like what we're trying to deliver, which is make superfoods simple, empower people to use them every day, and it needs to actually do what it says it's going to do. So I
Mhm.
think like sticking to that as like our filter for what we bring to market is more what we're focused on than any competition or any trends. Like the trends come and go. There's always like a craze with superfoods too.
Tell me, do you give them to your kids? Like, in which ones?
My go-to with the kids is smoothies.
Okay.
I think you can hide a lot of things in a
So
smoothie.
much. That's
Yeah.
our go-to as well.
Like, and kids need more fiber and less
Mhm.
sugar. So
Mhm.
not just throwing a ton of fruit and like not that that's horrible for you, but that spikes their blood sugar.
Mhm.
That's not going to leave them full for a really long time. So putting in something that's very fiber rich, putting in the berry powders. Like I asked them, what color do you want? Like you can make
Make
it
it
really
fun, yeah.
fun. And then this is also a bit extreme, but you can freeze it after. So
Mhm.
you can freeze smoothies
Make
into
popsicles
cubes or
or
make
yeah.
popsicles. And then it's just like easier. You don't have to make it into a whole big deal every time. But
Yeah.
smoothies is the best thing for kids. I also would say, even if you're making them like mac and cheese or pasta, you can sprinkle hemp hearts on top. You
Mhm.
could sprinkle like B12 flakes. You can add other things. And like I've always done that's what they're used to it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Hot tip.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like you're on just, like, the precipice of a great year coming up, and I'm really excited for you, so wanted to hear about some of your business goals, and, like, what retailers are you in? Do you have what are your goals for growth?
Yeah.
Tell us about what you're looking forward to for 2026.
Well, thank you for your support because we've,
Course.
yeah, like I think you're one of the people that gets how much goes into it behind the scenes. For retail in Canada, we're pretty much in most retailers where anyone would shop. So we're in Loblaws, Metro, Sobeys. every health food store, online stores. We're on Amazon and then our own website as well. I'd say where we're expanding and we have white spaces are growth into the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So in the U.S., we're at key retailers like Erewhon or Bristol Farms and like places you want to be seen, which is really cool. But we have a lot of white space to continue expanding there and going like national with Whole Foods or with Sprouts. So working on that for sure
That's so exciting.
as we speak. And then also just continuing to expand e-commerce, I think is a huge opportunity for us this year as well. And really like playing into that with our rebrand and like the quality of our content and our education as well. I'd say that this phase, this like past 3 months and bringing the rebrand to life is probably the most work that we've ever put into anything. So really excited to be on the other side of it soon.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm building a product as well. It's just, it's a little different, but it feels good once you kind of get to the point where you're just ready to launch it, right? Like
Yeah, I
you've
want
been
it
in the
out
thick of
there.
it. You want it out.
It's like having a baby.
Yeah, it's like those last few months.
This
just
is my
get out.
This is my third child, everyone.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so great.
Can't wait for you to meet her.
I'm pumped. Okay, so yeah, Ally and I met at Trove and we were in the sauna cold plunge together. We got paired in there and I told you I was turning 40 this year and I'm like, I want to do 29 or 29 and literally none of my friends will do it with me.
Yeah, you said you wanted it to be the best year of your life.
Yeah.
And be the most fit of your life.
Yeah. And you were like, I'll come with you. Like
I'm
we'll
looking at
sign up
this.
together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so for those of you who don't know about 29, it's you climb the equivalent of Mount Everest in 36 hours is what we thought we were doing. We get to the registration opening. We're online. I'm on the phone with Ally and like we're refreshing our screens and we're like, oh my God, it's selling out. Like it's just keeps like.
We wanted to do either like Tremblant or Whistler.
Something in Canada.
We wanted to do one that was like closer, easier to get to.
And Trail popped up and we're like, it's the only one left.
We didn't even think that
Trail.
Trail
Put my credit card info in. Let's do it.
I don't think either of us looked at it and we were like, why is this one called Trail and it's different than every other one? We were just happy that it was like the credit card was going through. Yeah.
So then Ally, a couple hours later, calls me and like, you realize what we signed up for? And I was like, no, I have no idea. And she's like, we're doing 3 marathons like in 3 consecutive days. And I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But we got there.
I think we were messaging back and forth being like, whatever, it's meant to be. This is the one we're supposed to be on. And then me messaging you being like, I don't know. This looks really different. So it was meant
pretty
to
much
be.
8 months of walking around Toronto with a weighted vest on, getting attacked by a bird on the lakefront, lots of training.
Hours of training. You were really chill about it though. Like you, I think, waited till the last month to get your like hiking poles and all your stuff.
Yes,
and
on the apparel front, I was pretty chill.
I was a bit more type A. I was like, what shoes do you have? Like, what kind of technical leggings are you going to wear? Like, what's your vibe on a hydration vest? Like,
yeah. I went to Mountain Equipment Co-op the day before we had to leave.
Yeah. Yeah. I was there like 7 times prior to. So funny.
Okay, so let's talk about lessons learned because I feel a lot of people have become really interested in 29 based on my posts about it.
Yeah.
I think are eager to kind of hear like what's the real deal? What are sort of the lessons learned on the mountain? Because I think there were a lot.
Yeah.
And I know you did like a beautiful write-up about sharing your experience that you were going to take back to your team at work. So,
well, I'll share about that, but like one thing I'll say prior to that is, and this is like a reflection on you too, I have never been to something where there were 250 people who had so much intention about what they were doing there, but about their life in general. And I think just to like paint the picture for everyone, the vibe there is so incredible because of this group of people who all chose to do something really, really hard. And like that includes both of us as well. Like no one else wanted to sign up for this with me. Like I was looking at this, we met and we're like, okay, well, yeah, we're doing it. And you're the only person who actually signed up, who said they were willing to sign up. And I think like the people there are so intentional about their business, their fitness, their relationships. Like, you can just tell that they're putting thought into every area of their life. And like, those are the kind of people that I want to be around to be inspired, and hopefully can inspire them as well. So just like, who's been in a room with 250 people that said yes to doing 3 marathons or anything this hard and challenging? Like, I just want to put that out there, that was like a big level set for the whole process, I would say. I don't know if you kind of felt that
I felt
too.
the same way. And I really love that everyone checked their ego at the door. Like, it was just like you got there and everyone was the most. I heard stories of, I finished on the last day about, she had just lost her mom and she was doing this because like she could do hard things and she could show her kids that she could do really hard things. And it was like, I could cry just thinking about it.
You're going to make me cry.
Yeah, it's an amazing community, and just like the stories of grit and resilience that I think everyone, whatever they were going through in their own life or business or personal, whatever it is, like you like the mountain like just taught you that like you can fucking get through it.
Yeah, exactly. I think, well, like back to your question, I signed up for this because it's kind of a long story. I'll try to speed it up. But when I had my son, I had an emergency C-section, and it was a super traumatic delivery. It was like everything went not the way I wanted it to go. It was the height of COVID. Long story, but it was a pretty traumatic birth. And when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was like, I want the complete opposite experience. I want to have a home birth, unmedicated. Like, I can do this.
Stop. I didn't even know that.
I thought I told you.
No,
Okay.
You did not tell me that.
So my daughter was successfully born at home in the bathtub. Sorry if that's TMI.
Wait, like no drugs?
No drugs, no medication, no nothing. But I had done
that
so
is
much.
mind-blowing to me.
Whole separate story, but I did for 9 months to make sure that I could make that happen. So much breath work and meditation and like body work and specific types of workouts. And like, I set a goal. I was like, I want to have a home birth. I want to get into the right mindset for it. I want to be ready, like physically, mentally, emotionally. And then it happened, and I like got what I wanted, and I met that goal. And after that, I felt like, okay, well, if I could do that, I can do anything. So like ever since then, which this was in 2022, I was looking for something really hard that was a long-term goal that I could work towards and prove to myself that like, okay, you can do this. So that's what 29 felt like for me, because I felt like ever since having her, I was kind of floating, being like, what's my really, really big thing that I don't think I could do that actually I can? And like, I know that sounds silly because people have babies every day, but after what the first experience was like, it was a big deal for me to have like a full circle moment where everything, went really well. And yeah, so it just showed me that when you set an intention and you really follow a plan and you work towards something, which sounds again super simple, but you can do hard things. So I think the message I shared with my team after was, the one thing I would want anyone to know is like, you're capable of so much more than you ever thought you possibly could be. And if you stay in your comfort zone year after year, you'll never tap into that side of yourself. If you force yourself to do something else, you'll tap into that side of yourself. So like, what are you leaving on the table, essentially?
I love that. Like, I'm so proud that we did it together and
Same.
like committed to that literal one time we met in a sauna.
Yeah. It was
and
meant
did
to be.
this life-changing event. I think we have to talk about day 3.
Yeah.
Because the way that you kind of describe it.
It was a big lesson.
It was a big lesson for you. And
yeah.
I know, like, we got up that morning, eating breakfast, ready to go out there, 4:30 a.m., ready to hit our final day on the mountain. And we were like, I cannot believe we're doing this one more day.
Yeah. Like I had never done.
We had blisters everywhere.
Yeah.
You maybe more so than I did, but like we were dead.
7 trips to Mecca still won't help you at the end of the day once you've done 2 marathons on a trail.
So let's talk about day 3.
Yeah. So day 3 was supposed to be our 3rd consecutive marathon in less than 72 hours. and my body was feeling absolutely broken. Specifically, my left knee was hurting me the whole time. I've had problems with my left knee for years, but it's never been enough to hold me back. Like, it's kind of just been there and kind of been a dull pain, and it is what it is. And I always just kind of work through it. But I think that specifically doing 2 marathons on a trail where there's roots and rocks, and it sounds like trail. Okay, a nice
No,
trail.
yeah, like I
guys,
fell like
this is
multiple times.
yeah, like oh yeah. The amount of times I pictured myself just like crashing and breaking my nose or like
Yeah.
twisting an ankle, like beyond. But day 3, we started with a massive uphill. We were together, and I was like, Natasha, go ahead of me. Like, don't wait for me. I think I told you that every day because I'm like, we're at a different pace and you got to fall into a group that's at your pace. And like, it was great to be with you, but it was also great to know that you were going to like meet other people. I was going to meet other people, and we were just going for it.
And that's what's special
what it's all
about
about.
29 or 29.
Exactly.
It's not about your time. It's like
no, it's just about getting it done, setting the goal, and like working towards it. No one's racing.
No.
You're racing yourself.
Against yourself. Yeah.
So day 3, it got to the top of the first huge hill, and I felt my left knee completely snap, and I was kind of hysterical. I mentally it never crossed my mind once on this journey that like, I'm not going to finish. I'm going to quit. And there were people who quit each day or who didn't finish for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But that was not in my vocabulary at any point. But when this knee snapped and they told me that you're not going to make it to the cutoff on time, because each aid station along the way, we had aid stations every like 5 miles, which is like every like 7 to 8 kilometers.
Yeah.
They're like, you're not going to make it to the aid stations on time at the pace that you're going. Because I was going to keep going. I went to the aid station. I got it iced, like icy hot, like I don't know, that numbing cream.
Yeah.
I took Advils, and I was like, I'm going to keep going. Like, I'm just slow today.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. Like, if I'm still going to try to finish. And they're like, you're not going to be at the aid station. We're not set up to like evacuate people who haven't made it to the cutoffs on time. So I looked at how much I had done, and I was like, okay, I'm going to, I don't want to sugarcoat it. I was very upset because I had envisioned myself finishing this whole time. And like I said, like planning, making a plan, working towards it.
You were like, I'm not coming here not to finish. That's not an option.
I think we said it to each other a lot. You're like, I'm not doing this to not finish. And I'm like, same, absolutely. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to finish this. Like, they're basically telling me.
You're like tearing up talking about it.
Yeah. But I set a new goal at that point. I was
I love how you describe shifting your perspective of what finishing actually means. Because I think taking this back to like your business and everything, it's a very important lesson.
Yeah, I set a new goal of making sure that I hit 100K that day in total, which was like almost 2.3 marathons. I don't know, do the math. I had done the full 2, and then I was like, I want to round it off by like making sure that I get to 100 today. I don't care if that's between aid stations. Like, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll like hobble to the final aid station that comes after that, and then you guys can take me off. And they were like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And, I liked that it was a nice round number. 100K is longer than I had ever walked or climbed or hiked in my life. So I was like, this is what the new goal is going to be. And in business, there's been lots of things where I've had to pivot and shift. And so I also put it into the perspective, like my husband helped me. You met Sagi. He was there.
Yeah. He was the sweetest volunteer, like cheering us all on at the aid station. He was so proud of you. Yeah,
he was amazing. Like, the people around you really do matter. And luckily, most people, everyone there was incredible, like we said. But he said, if Sunny or Isla, if our kids did something like this and they didn't finish, but they had really done everything they could have possibly done, like, would you tell them that it wasn't good enough? And I'm like, no, I would never say that. So that was when I was like, okay, I need to just be happy that I did set that new goal and I got to that. And like, that does have to be good enough.
And it is good enough.
It is.
Like, the fact that you did 100 kilometers is insane.
Well,
and
I did something
amazing.
Most people would never even like get up and try, right?
Yeah.
And I'd never done a marathon before. And now I've done 2 in 2 days consecutively on a trail, which like excuse me, that's way harder than a road marathon. Anyone who disagrees, like, come find me. Have you been on a trail since finishing, though? Because I have not.
I was just like, didn't want to walk anywhere anymore.
Same.
Done.
I was also flying to Greece the next day with my kids for vacation, and I was like, I could leave here in a wheelchair if I keep going. Like, then we can't go to Greece. So, like, I also needed to be not that, like, insane about the goal. I needed to shift my perspective.
Well, and I think, like, it's nice that you've showed your team at work, too, that, like, it doesn't mean failure.
It doesn't.
At all.
It doesn't. I was emotional that day, like you saw.
I know.
But I've, like, reflected on it, and I really don't feel like I fail. I think, like, even going and doing this is a massive win.
Yeah.
But I am, like, a perfectionist, so there's still, like, a piece of me that's like,
so we'll just have to do it again next year.
I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see where it's going to be.
Let's see. I'm excited for the announcement.
I want to see if the location is calling me.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. That was quite the epic trip.
Yeah, and by the way, you killed it. Like, you finished all 3 days. You did 3 marathons in 3 days, which is insane.
It was literally like, it was like the people in front of me that were inspiring, and it was like the people behind me. Like, it was just all of it.
But you were inspiring other people too, like I saw.
Okay, well, that's nice to hear.
And shout out to the coaches.
Oh, my gosh.
Because I wouldn't have even finished day 2 without, like, them helping me. Because I ran the last 3. I destroyed my body the last 3 hours of day 2 to make sure that, like, I got that second marathon in. And it was because of the coaches.
It was because of the coaches and the Coca-Cola. Like, I don't drink Coke, but
me neither.
Out there,
Literally.
I was like, all I wanted was Coca-Cola.
Well, they were pushing it. They were like, drink some Coke at the next aid station, splash and dash is what they said.
I don't think that's part of your, like, daily habit, right?
Never. No. 9 tablespoons of sugar per can, everyone.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Okay, I guess we can, like, wrap it up, but I guess, are there any, like, changes that, like, you're gonna make from, like, those lessons on trail?
I think it's just, again, like, I really reflected on the quality of people that you surround yourself with is so important, and, like, how uplifting it can be to be in that type of crowd, and wanting to emulate that even more in my everyday life as much as I can, and be that for anyone else if I can. And also, like, patience
was a big one
with
for
the
me,
process.
at least. Yeah.
Like,
for me, that's
training.
what I like. But also being out there and being like, you know, I can't go too fast, or, like, if I fall, I can't get too frustrated. Like, these are all just little blips.
Yeah.
And I just have to, like, be really, like, patient with myself about that.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get to me mentally otherwise.
I feel like you were also impatient for it to come, like, for the date, for the starting time. Like, I think you said, like, I've had too much time to think about my life, like, on these long, like, training sessions.
The 8-hour walks where I was just, like, contemplating life. Yeah.
So, no. And I think I'm also reflecting, or, like, thinking about, like, jokes aside, like, will we do it again, or will I do trail or 29 generally? It's just like, what else can I do that I didn't think I could do? Like, that's what I'm thinking about coming out of this. Like, what else can I do now?
You can literally do anything.
Like, I don't want to skydive or anything, which, by the way, I have. But, like, what else could I do?
Yeah, that's going to really challenge.
I need to find something.
Okay, well, I'm sure we'll find something together and commit to it.
Keep me posted.
Okay, for the listeners, where can they find Organic Traditions? Where can they find you?
Yeah. So for Organic Traditions, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Organic Traditions, and you can find Organic Traditions products in pretty much every grocery store, health food store, or on our website. To find me, it's at Ally Zeifman on Instagram and on TikTok. And yeah, that's where you can find us.
Okay, I'm not on TikTok, but I feel like I need to start.
You would kill it on TikTok.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Let's make this into a TikTok.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, I'm not really active on there either, but, you know, we're trying.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much. This was really fun.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.